Good evening. This is Will Howard. This is my final video project, family engagement activity video for ESP 730 with Professor Baker. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing a few objectives for my family engagement activity and then what my engagement activity actually consists of. And also, just side note, I am only substituting right now. I do not have my own full-time classroom, so this is hypothetical for now. With that being said, I have a few objectives for this planned family engagement activity. And my first objective is to introduce myself to parents and families. And so when I introduce myself, I really want to emphasize that I am an English teacher. That is what I'm here. I'm getting my license in English. I'm here to teach English reading and writing skills to their children. I'm not here to be a life coach. I'm not here to teach other things. I'm really serious about reading and writing, and I think that's probably my biggest strength as an educator is my reading and writing skills and the content knowledge and interest and passion I have for all things books. And I think one thing I've taken away from my time at UNLV is that students, parents, families of all cultures, races, really respond well to teachers taking teaching seriously and like the academic content stuff seriously. So like kind of like the warm demander teaching archetype. I really want to emphasize that with at this meeting and just in general. So yeah, first thing is to introduce myself, and I will once I get to what the activity consists of, I'll talk more about how I plan to actually introduce myself. Second big objective is I want parents and families to introduce themselves to me and to each other. And so again, nothing crazy, but just so I know who everybody is, and I'll have this isn't my needs assessment survey. It's not. That's not necessarily the point of this first activity. It's more just kind of a get to know you, but still having to just get to know families a little bit, what they think is important, so they know who I am, and then also so parents and families know who each other are in the classroom. And that's a point I'm going to make is. I think if parents and families know each other and get along, then that can trickle down to students as well. So like if students hear their parents talking about the so and so's are so kind and like everybody there was so nice, then hopefully their children would feel more comfortable in the classroom as well, and it's a more safe environment, and social benefits, academic benefits. So I plan to stress that as well. It's not just for your own sake, getting to know other people, it also helps your children. So then beyond the introductions, kind of getting more into what the activity consists of, there's a couple things I really want to make sure parents go home with. And the first is the class newsletter. And so this is basically the activity is creating the first class newsletter together with parents. But I'm just going to emphasize to parents, this is I plan to use this as a consistent monthly form of communication with parents and families. It'll have student achievements, what they're learning, things that are upcoming, and also just emphasize that parents can contribute as much as they like, and also that this newsletter will be communicated in different languages. I only speak and read and write English, so that is what I will be writing it in, but I can translate it to as many languages as people want. It's pretty easy to do that nowadays. And parents should, if they want to contribute, and I will encourage them to contribute, can write in whatever language comes most naturally to them, and we can do the work on my end or their end, translating into something that they can read. And again, I'll get into that a little more here in a minute when I talk about what the activity consists of. Another big objective is introducing the idea of a class book club. So again, this is an English class, and I think I'm going to talk about the Janes article, the research in the Janes 2012 article, which showed that shared reading is so effective for as a way of family engagement to boost academic outcomes. And I know, like, I'm teaching secondary, so I'm not gonna tell parents to go home and get in bed and read bedtime stories with their teenagers. But just that reading the same book at the same time can be so something to talk about with your children. Hopefully, again, it kind of leads more to a whole sense of classroom camaraderie, and it's just a way to bring people together, talk about books. And so that's another thing we're going to be doing in the activity, is just generating a book list for possible book club ideas. And also there, I'm going to encourage, do books that are personal to you. That, like, it doesn't have to be English book. It doesn't have to be, canonical text. Like, everybody's read different things, and that's the beauty of it. So yeah, do stuff that's close to your life and personal. Another big objective is to tell parents that there are resources out there for parent education. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by the education system and just the huge bureaucratic apparatus that exists, there's places out there that can help you work through that and navigate that. And I can help with that, but also, again, I'm an English teacher. That I am here to teach reading and writing skills. I can facilitate. I can point out things like the Children's Cabinet and the Nevada PEP and organizations like that. So yeah, I'm gonna tell parents about that, but also I'm not gonna try to tell parents how to parent their children. But those resources are out there. So I think those are the main objectives, are just the introduction to myself, introduction to parents, and then the newsletter, the book club, and parent resources. And then the book club and the resources will also be mentioned in the newsletter when I send that out. But yeah, okay, so that brings us to the activity, the main activity. So basically, I'm just envisioning, having a classroom of parents and families, and we're gonna work together to write introductory paragraphs for the class newsletter. So I'm gonna write one myself, and I'm also going to highlight a few literary devices I use, because I think it would be cool to show parents and families like a few insights into what I'll be teaching their students. So hopefully they feel more engaged with their children's learning. I can talk about the things they're learning at home. So just stuff like personification, simile, just stuff like that. So I'm gonna write. I wrote some examples of that, and I'm just gonna show it that are baked into my introductory paragraph. So here goes my paragraph. It says, "My name is Will Howard. I'm a teacher and a reader and a writer and a hiker. I'm from Tennessee, and I spent my summers on a farm, but these days I'm about as country as the cosmopolitan. I believe each and every one of your children is capable of finding success and happiness, and I will give everything I have to help them do just that. My favorite book is Suttree by Cormac McCarthy." Yeah, so just a short introduction, some things I like to do, where I'm from, what I think their children are capable of, and then my favorite book. I want to have everybody share their favorite book, again, just to generate ideas for the book club. But so yeah, in this paragraph, I'm a teacher and a reader and a writer and a hiker. So I don't use any commas. I just string together conjunctions. So that's polysyndeton. And then I'm from Tennessee, but these days I'm about as country as the cosmopolitan. So that's a simile. I'm about as country as the cosmopolitan. Yeah, so nothing crazy, but just a few fun poetic devices, again, really to emphasize the reading and writing skills, the English bit. And then, yeah, just getting to know you. So then I'll give, after I model mine, I'll give parents and families some time to write their own. I'll be floating around the room if anybody has questions, about books or poetic devices or anything. Yeah, and then I'm also going to say, write it in whatever language, again, is most natural for you. It doesn't have to be English. Like, this is an English class, but you can use similes in any language. So yeah, and that'll be the main thing. And then once that's over, I mean that's pretty much the event. That's pretty much the activity. And then I will compile them into the class newsletter and send it out to everybody. Yeah, and hopefully from that we should have a book list. People get to know each other. They get to know me. I get to know them. And then also in the newsletter, I will just have a separate little section about the parent resources, like the Children's Cabinet and the Nevada PEP and that sort of thing. Just to mention that again. I'll send the newsletter out in as many languages as people indicate that they prefer. And then lastly, I plan to do this as a series of meetings. I know I will have, probably well over 100 parents and families, and then I'm not going to get them all in the room at one time. So I know that, I will have to offer multiple things. And then also, again, just trying to reduce the amount of logistical conflicts, work conflicts, whatever conflicts. Just trying to make it as accessible for people as possible. So that's my family engagement activity. Just want to introduce the newsletter, the book club, myself, get to know parents and families, and also just really emphasize throughout that they can and should contribute to the newsletter as much as they see fit, because they're equal partners in the education process of their children. Thank you. Sure, I'll keep thinking about ways to engage parents and families a lot. I know it's a really important thing, and it's important to build a sense of community. So this has been a good class, and thank you for everything.